coming in hot with an advice right off the bat, because this episode is about habits and indecisibility and all of the things. So this is very, very fitting. Do you have any advice on becoming less indecisive? For context, I'm 24 and it feels like your 20s are filled with decisions. I get terribly anxious when it comes to making decisions to smaller things like weekend plans, and I always overthink. I have a few recent examples for you. I switched jobs from one that is much higher paying to one that is less paying, but I'm more passionate about the work. It turns out that this new job isn't as great as I expected it to be. I've been questioning my ability to make decisions since. Another example is I'm in a relationship of 3 years that I sometimes don't feel completely sure about. I love my boyfriend, but I often wonder if he's for sure my person. Have you ever experienced overthinking and indecision like this? What steps have you taken to feel more decisive? Appreciate this pod and everything that you're doing.
Lucky for you, you're talking to the most indecisive girl on planet
Welcome
Earth.
to the indecisive corner. I wish there was some fun music that played or something like that. I feel like you're in your 20s, dude. It's indecision and indecisiveness is just like lingering everywhere you go. You will never make choices that you're sure. Oh my God. I sound like I'm from Canada. Sure about. So you just kind of have to make a decision. And that decision at the time was the right one with the information that you were given. Mm-hmm. So like you can't knock yourself for being like, oh, this job isn't what I thought it was. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
You probably learned what questions to ask next time when you're interviewing. You probably learned like what you actually care more about. Is it like what the job looks like from the outside, what I'm working on, the money, who I'm working for? Like you learn all these things by making quote unquote mistakes, but it's not mistakes. It's just decisions that you wouldn't know how to answer otherwise.
Well, and I feel like even when she's like getting down to the weekend plans, like it's all of a sudden like every single thing's like a big decision.
Yes.
And I think for me, there's always like a slight gut feeling.
Oh my God.
Like
yeah.
no matter what, like you're sitting there debating, but there always is a slight inkling. That inkling is always the one that like makes me feel less anxious.
Yeah.
So like going out, like, yeah, going out sounds fun. Like I get to see my friends, you get to like have fun. Like, but my gut's telling me like, I just want to stay home, but that's kind of lame.
Yeah, exactly. And then you feel bad.
Stay home.
Stay home.
Stay home.
And don't wait till the last second to be like, I actually might stay home. You know what I mean? Because like, it's like I've been feeling this over like maybe a course of a few days probably. Yep. Like I kind of knew that was going to be my answer. And then I wait until like maybe the hour before.
And then
to
people
be like,
get pissed off.
Yeah, then they get pissed because they're like, what the hell? You said you were coming, you know? So you are not in any way, shape, or form in the wrong position. You were just indecisive as a 20-year-old, which many people are. And what you'll find is 30-year-olds are indecisive, 40-year-olds are indecisive, 50, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
You just have to make the educated guess with what's in front of you. And with the relationship thing, let's see, she's 24. You might not know. I mean, I hate to be that guy, but you might just not know. Like, think about it, sit with it and be like, what is it that I'm not getting maybe?
It's okay to not make a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
no
can just
decision
kind of
is a decision. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm good. I'm happy right now. Let's
sit
just,
in it.
let's live it up.
Let's live it up. Again, you can live in the now. You can't live in the future. You can't live in the past. So if it's good, it's great and you're happy.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing wrong with that. If there's underlying issues that make you wonder if he's your person, then that's the ones that you should start paying attention to. And I always say like, go through all the scenarios in your head, go through like actual practices. And this is going to sound really wacky, but like as if you broke up right now.
Yeah.
Like if you broke up, what would you feel? Would you be like, wait, that wasn't actually something that bothered me. I like really do like this person. I just think I'm being a little bit overwhelming or like overbearing or nitpicky.
Yeah. I was
It'll answer the question.
Odds are there's no one forcing her to make a decision right now, but the reason she's thinking about making a decision is because there are things that are making her think she should make a decision.
And your gut's telling you.
Your gut's telling me it need to be done or like whatever way it's leaning. And I always feel like what's meant to be is meant to be. Like do what your gut's saying and like nothing's permanent.
No,
nothing's permanent. You can always like if things come back around, like nothing's gone.
No. You got time. You got time, my friend. Don't worry about the indecisiveness. It's going to be okay. And I'm going to talk today about indecisiveness and habits and like how to balance yourself out a little bit. But I appreciate Reilly for being here. Reilly came on as well for the end of this podcast for some advice pieces. So stay tuned for that, but let's dive in. want to start by saying that I am not practicing a healthy habit as we speak because I am currently recording at 11:25 p.m. But there's a reason for that. And I'll explain. Sometimes you're going to have habits that are maybe not the healthiest. Sometimes you're going to break habits. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes. You're going to stay up too late. You're not going to work out. You're not going to eat healthy. Can we just take a second before we talk about healthy habits and habits of a smart human being, by just saying that we're human and that's going to happen and we're okay with it? Because you can't be perfect every day. I'm not perfect any days. I would say most of the days I'm not. And I feel like sometimes even people will reach out to me and say, how do you have it all together? And I'm like, I don't have it all together. I don't know why other people ask that, or you look at somebody else and you're like, how do they have it all together? How do they do it all? Like, how do they do all these things and still have a balanced lifestyle? It's like, I don't, and I'm working on it. And there's things that I've made big improvements on my life with that I want to share with you, and things that people have wrote in that I think are extremely helpful, things that I've applied already, things that I want to apply. And when I wrote the title, Habits of a Healthy Human, my goal was not to find the healthiest human on the planet. My goal was to piece together the pieces of each and every one of you listeners that makes you a healthy, well-rounded human being. And when I say healthy habits, I mean things that make you feel good, things that make your life well-rounded, more grounded, makes you feel good and positive and alive, like enough sleep, enough rest, enough movement, enough nutrients, and all the beautiful things in between that mitigate stress and so on and so forth. So it wasn't to find the perfect human. It's not that I'm the perfect human, because I learned a lot from asking you guys things on my social media. And if you don't already follow me, by the way, well said, on Instagram and TikTok, I ask questions so that I can apply it to my life. I can apply it for everybody to hear you out. And I want to start with telling you about my day, because I just want to share to show you that you're going to have really freaking amazing days and you're going to have really brutal days. I was supposed to fly to Vegas today with my fiance and his siblings for a birthday, and I had to change my flight because I was overwhelmed. I avoided realizing that I had too much work on my plate and I was tired, and I didn't get my recording in because I didn't prioritize it. My habit, right, of recording on Mondays fell through, because I don't really exactly remember what I was doing. I think it had something to do with feeling overwhelmed and overworked, not sleeping the night before because we got back from Green Bay for a game. And so I didn't sleep, couldn't record that night. And I'm tired. I'm tired. We have a new puppy. She's perfect. Her name is Deacon. She's a little Lakeland Terrier. She's an absolute little shit, but I love her to death. But I'm freaking tired. And I can't maintain all of my healthy habits when I'm exhausted, and when work, although amazing in every single way, has been through the roof stressful and overwhelming and a shit ton on my plate. And I can't add any more to my plate to add a new habit. So I just want to make it so clear to you guys that when you're sitting there beating yourself up about a habit that you didn't hit, or something you didn't do and you fell back into old ways, you are human. You are very human for that. You are not messing up. You're not ruining your life. You are just human. So take a breath, realize how many things you are doing good in this world and good for yourself and good for your people, and just calm yourself down for a second. I lose motivation all the time. In fact, I lost motivation to record this. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. And that's why it's 11 p.m. And that's why my tasks are piling on. And I felt bad that I broke my habits. I asked you guys, how many of you either feel guilty for breaking a habit? And I would say I do more than I should. 76% of you said you also feel guilty when you break a habit. So it's we're all breaking habits, and you'll think it's insane when I start reading all the things that I found out, but we're all breaking habits. We're all just trying to get by some days, and that's okay. The days that are hard, we're not expected to be perfect. Today was kind of hard, and I'm still going to record, and I don't expect you to think that I'm perfect. That's not the point of this. The goal of this podcast was never to be perfect. It was never to be I'm the best and I know it all. It's never supposed to be that. The goal is to give you advice and information that's going to help you to apply to your life and make your life better. And you know what? The reality of that is sometimes I need to take my own freaking advice because I can be the person that says it all and tries to do it all, or maybe doesn't try to do it at all. And I don't even take my own advice to slow down or add a healthy habit. So with that all being said, I feel like breaking habits and the guilt that I have like are hand in hand with each other. So like breaking habits and getting guilt, right? Like they go hand in hand. And I don't know why I get so obsessive over my habits every single week. Like this week it was that I wasn't posting enough on social media, that I wasn't getting enough protein in, that I wasn't working out well enough. And I'll explain what I mean by that. And that I wasn't nurturing my relationships enough, like the habits that I have, like date night. We skipped date night this week because, well, he's traveling. Why do I need to obsess over that? It's just how the cookie crumbles. Life gets, interchangeable every single week. It's not going to be constant. So why be so resistant to inconsistent schedule when you know that it's going to be that way at times? I've been mad at myself for not like reading and not waking up early, and I'm looking at my phone too much. So all of those things go hand in hand. But it's funny because if you think about it, I can't read more if I'm not well rested. I can't do more social media if I'm going on my phone, right? Because I don't want to be on my phone, but I feel guilty about not doing enough social. Like it's just like, it's so counterintuitive sometimes. And we have to think about how hard we are on ourselves. I am so hard on myself sometimes. For what? Why? Why do I need to maybe adhere to the rules that I'm making for myself to be a better person when I know I'm a better person and I'm a good person? Or the rules that I'm making for myself when I should also have the energy and the power to slow down, to be human, to give myself a little grace. Like it's crazy to me how intense I get sometimes. Like I get so intense and I'm like, why am I getting like this? Like even I remember like the other night I had some friends over. My healthy habit of that moment was being with my favorite people and having good company and just like enjoying a slow night with my favorite people. It was a few friend couples that came over, but the guilt that came with it instead was my habit that I didn't keep, was that I didn't have like a well-rounded meal for dinner. And I wish I would have. I had cheese and meat and, like crackers and grapes for dinner. And I obsessed over that. And I like had a stomach ache. So obviously like, okay, yeah, a little pissed off about that part, but which habit was more important? The one being with my amazing, amazing human beings that surround me and lifting me up when I needed it. You know what I mean? Like when you need that good energy of your people around you, or the fact that I didn't have a well-rounded meal. Like why would that one meal need to set me back in my habits from what I'm already doing? So I just think it's a good thing to think about and to talk about, right? Like I have habits that I can't really stick to, but I wanted to read like what people feel when they break a habit, just so we can like kind of have a level set here and have a convo about it. So I asked listeners, when you break a habit, what do you feel? And these were the write-ins. I take it easy on myself and reassure myself that one moment doesn't define me. I get frustrated, but I try to remember that I can't start doing the habit easily, or I can start doing the habit easily again. I feel bad and I feel like I need to compensate in other ways. I don't bounce back. I regret it. I feel like I failed at something and I can bounce back, but not without feeling that guilt. I feel like it's a huge setback. I have to focus on mindset and get back into the routine. Forcing myself not to go berserk and reel it back in truly depends on how much I've prioritized that habit and how long I've been doing it, but I feel stressed. This one says shame. I feel overwhelmed and shamed. And then when I try to get back into it. This one says I have a lot of anxiety for it, but I calm down and get back into it and I feel guilty and disappointed and sorry for myself a little, but then I get back into it. So my point being, reading how we feel when we break a habit is that everybody's feeling these things. Like we all struggle to keep habits. We all struggle to hold on to different things. And I think a lot of that has to do with trying to do too much, putting way too much pressure on yourself, and only looking forward. If we are only looking forward, we are not looking at how far we've come. Period. End of story. If we're only looking at what's ahead, we will never have any time to reflect or like have that good feeling, that feel good moment of like, look how far I've come and look at all the things I'm doing. And Jordan always reminds me of this too. He's like, you have to be reminded of all the things that you're doing well. And you need to take a step back and realize that. And I'm like, frick, you're right. And I don't also, who's asking me to be perfect? Nobody. And who's asking me to have a perfect day every day? Nobody. And if life is going to throw us bumps like it always has, and we're mindful of that, we got to let go of the obsessiveness of not doing something one day or a few times or in a pattern, right?
Hey, you little poop nuggets, it's Candid Soph. I miss you guys so much. Seriously, my poop stories just don't hit the same without you. And we know change sucks and we know it's risky, but the biggest mistake you can make is being afraid you're going to make a mistake. So we honestly just trusted our gut on this one, and we miss you. Straight Candid misses you. I miss you. So with all that being said, I want to share with you guys my new adventures. You can follow my new YouTube channel. You can type in my full name, Sophie Van Cirksum, or you can check the link in my bio to subscribe to my YouTube. And any support matters right now, seriously, because I'm currently at like -10 subscribers. So I would love a little support. But yeah, I plan to make some shorter form lifestyle content like vlogs, some fitness content sponsored by the Basil by Soph brand, and also some long form content where we can kind of chit chat and we can hang out throughout the day too. So I'm excited. I hope you guys support and follow. But yeah, at Candid Soph on all platforms for the time being, and Sophie Van Cirksum on YouTube. But with all that, get back to it, Sid. She just popping in. Bye, guys.
The hardest lingering habits that I cannot seem to keep or stick right now for me are like meditation, no phone in bed, and going to bed early. I literally cannot keep those, and I don't know why. Well, I know why, actually. I'm not prioritizing my time well, but I'll get into the reasons why I think habits don't stick and how I would suggest keeping a habit. The hardest habits to keep that people wrote in were extremely consistent. They were sleep and they were health. I'll read a few. Working out was repeated probably 150 times. Waking up early was repeated 150 times, along with going to bed early. Eating healthy was astronomically on that list. Losing weight, talking negative about yourself, money management, biting nails, no eating out, staying off my phone and not continuously scrolling, flossing. I went to the dentist today and they told me that my floss sticks need to go and I need to get actual floss. And I was like, it's not good enough. Come on. Reading every day and then meditating. And what I would like you to think about is some of these are like things that you should really add into your lifestyle regardless, but some of these are literally just feel good items. Like meditating and reading every day are feel good items. They are not an end all be all. They are not going to put you back. Like we have to take the pressure off the habit if we want to keep it. That's number one. Remove the pressure of the habit. I put a lot of pressure on trying to go to bed early and I don't attain it. And I think the reason is I stress myself out so bad. And when I'm stressed, I can't really sleep. And I start obsessing over things and feel like I need to go work on them right at that second. Like I got to go do it now. And then the cycle continues because I didn't get enough sleep. Now I've slept in because I don't feel good enough to get up early. I've effed up my day because I've missed my alarm to go work out. And now the cycle continues. So you start to feel bad about the cycle, but it's actually more about catching yourself when you find that repeat. Like I've been trying to catch myself. And even tonight, didn't catch myself about going to bed early. That sucks because I'm now in the know of the fact that I'm going to be tired tomorrow. And that it's kind of shitty knowing that. But at the same time, I needed to get this done. So I'm not going to get mad at myself. I'm just going to say, you know what? You kind of effed up. You kind of fudged on your time management today. And we're going to go get it tomorrow because I need to do that for myself and my own mental sanity. Like I can't be sane if I do that. Also, having a puppy is a lot, dude. Like I was talking about in the beginning, I can't expect myself to be on and perfect all the time. So here are my tips for healthy habits. And I just want to like preface with, I don't know it all, but these are the ways that I would keep a healthy habit if I was someone, if it was me, if it was my choice. These are the things that I apply to keep my healthy habits. 1, remove the unnecessary habits to make room for the important ones. Sleep, movement, and food. The basics are right there. You do not need to obsess over the additives that are nice to have that you heard about somebody doing. 2 is remove the pressure of a habit. If you remove that pressure, it is 10 times easier to apply to your real life. Why are you forcing yourself to read 10 pages a night? Are we in school? Are you taking a test? No, the answer is no, probably. Or maybe you are, but regardless, I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about a fun book that you picked out. Why are you pressuring yourself to read that book? Relax. You missed a night of sleepy tea. freaking get over it. Who cares? It was like a feel good habit. Like you probably got busy. Chill. Like remove the pressure of the habit. 3 is make habits attainable. Okay. So don't make them rules or punishment, right? Removing that stress. And also write them down as goals that are nice to have instead of must haves. If they're not attainable, you're not going to do them. And be mindful of, if I feel really stressed right now and maybe I'm not killing it in my skincare routine, that's maybe one of my habits. Maybe I'm not eating healthy right now. Why am I going to add on another item to my plate, like I must read before bed, when I haven't nailed the things that are going on immediately in my life right in front of me, like the habits that I'd like to nail down? Like, when would you be at work and you're really not killing the project you're working on? You're just not killing it. And you need to, because that's what your job depends on. But hey, might as well add another project on the side that you know is going to take up more of your time, and you know that you're going to spend less time on that other project. Like, that just doesn't logically make sense. So think about those things as you're trying to figure out what habits are attainable and prioritize. This is number 4. Remember that things are 60-20, even with nutrition. So balance. Use balance, and missing a day is okay. It's okay. It's okay. Reminding yourself to not carry that guilt. Even though I do, even though 76% of us do, it's okay. Take a breath. It's not that serious. I guarantee it's not. It's just not that serious. Even with nutrition, right? This 80-20 rules to keep you sane. 80% healthy, 20% whatever you want. It's also like 80% food, 20% how you move, right? You can do a lot of those things, but really, truly, it's called balance. Just lean into balance. 5, I only have 6. Life is about working at things and getting better over time. So don't put so much pressure on it all. When have you ever met somebody that was perfect? When have you ever met an adult that isn't working on something to make their life a little bit better? Paying attention to those people around you, no matter your age, 18 or 81, I'm sure there are things people are working on. We have goals. That's what keeps us going. It's what keeps us excited and moving forward in our lives. So making sure that you're thinking that way is going to make you feel a lot better. You don't need to be perfect, honey. Like you don't need to be that. It's not attainable. I have to think about that too. I always get self-conscious of like my stutters on the podcast, or how I look when I look tired right now, because I am tired, like, it's like, I don't have to be perfect. I don't need to worry about this stuff. It's not something I need to obsess over. Number 6, don't let one day set you back a week, a month, or a year. Why are you doing that, right? Like, get back into it and stop wishing you could control the past. You can't live in the past and you can't live in the future. So you got to live in the present, make changes in the present moment, take steps forward. If the past is done, you look nowhere but right in front of you and ahead. You don't look back. It's done. It's over. So feeling guilty about it isn't going to help you. It's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to assist you in what's ahead. It's only going to assist you in obsessing over the past, and that's not going to help you get forward. Hopefully those things, are resonating with you a little bit. I feel like I need to, I'm preaching to the choir a little bit. Like, I need to remember that I need to do these things too. And some of these are really hard for me because I do obsess. I feel like that's part of my ADHD brain and my anxiety brain, and reminding myself that things are 80-20, and that I don't have to be perfect, but it's hard to remember that. Like, yeah, even right now, it's like I'm balancing the podcast. I'm balancing a new dog. I'm balancing fiance. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. Like Beyonce, and all of the things in between that, and work, and like not getting enough sleep, and coaching, and I have to be good at so many things. Good, I'm using air quotes, right? Like being able to show up as myself. I need to remember that I don't need to be perfect, and it's hard. I battle that a lot. The biggest thing that I would say that helps me with my habits is allocating time. I'm going to talk through some healthy habits that I swear by that are actually kind of like also part of healthy habit building. It's all coming like together as one, and I'll explain why. But I don't time manage well. And that is a symptom of ADHD. I'm not like excusing it. I'm just saying like it's a different way that your brain fires. I don't do time management very well. I'm not good at it, but it is what keeps me from having a solid habit that I'm like happy about, right? And they say after 21 days it is a habit, like, right? It's 3 weeks, 21 days, it's a habit, but you can still fluke, you can still mess up a little bit. It happens. But allocating time for those things, even if it's dinner, even if it means like, I know that I'm going to have dinner, need to have dinner before I go to pickleball on Wednesday nights, right? That means if pickleball's at 6:30, I'm not doing anything from 4:30 to 6:30 because I'm going to feel stressed and I'm not going to be able to eat. And then I'm going to get hangry and then I'm going to miss out on another goal, right? Like feeding my body nutritiously. I'm going to play shitty at pickleball because I don't have energy and I'm going to be crabby. And then I'm probably going to have to eat when I'm late or eat when I get home late and go to bed a little bit later. And it messes, see how that trickle effect just happens? I feel like many of these habits stem from poor time management. That is what it's stemming from. And I'm preaching to myself right now, but it was very eye-opening to sit and think about all those things. So let's talk about healthy habits that I swear by. And these are things that I am not perfect at, but they have changed my life. And I will do whatever battle it is that I need to battle to keep these ones alive. And I've removed that pressure and push on myself to be perfect at these. But these are just things that make me feel healthy. And when I sit back and I'm like, there's no pressure to do these, they make me well-rounded. I can take that pressure away and I can keep applying them to my day-to-day. So number 1, working out on a schedule. This is literally everything. Like ideally it's prior to work. So in the morning. And having a fitness community helps a lot. So working out on a schedule, and right after it, I say knowing my workout beforehand, because that is the two that go hand in hand together. If I know my workout before I go to the gym, and I know that I'm going to the gym at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., it's only an hour. I know that I moved my body, even if it wasn't the most amazing workout in the world, which I'll talk about in a second. I got a workout in. That was one of my habits. That was one of my goals for myself. And I'm going to feel freaking good. Movement, sleep, and nutrition should be your 3 top priorities. I will say it over and over and over again. Okay. My third one was do fitness for fun sometimes. That's what I do. Habits I'm swearing by because I'm so obsessive and I'm so like, I need to do legs 2 times a week. I need to do upper body 2 times a week. I need to do cardio mixed in there. I need to take my own classes that I teach because then I'm going to be a better coach. It's not physically possible for me to be at 20 spots at the same time. So why not on a Saturday? Why don't I just do a cycle class with my favorite instructor and a bunch of my friends and my dad and my family and my fiance? That's going to make me feel good with good music, even though if I'm thinking about training purposes, that cycling might not align with like the 3rd leg day that I ideally have. Like, removing all that pressure and making like fitness fun again has been huge for my habits and my mental health. 4, I said making a grocery list and separately a snacks and meal list. This is literally to make things less thought-provoking, like to make things easier for me. And what I'm thinking about when I'm fueling my body is I'm going to do 3 meals a day. That's what I'm thinking about. I used to obsess over protein intake, which I really do still try to keep getting more protein in. That's a great habit that I've, worked on. It's not perfect yet, but that helps a lot to just think about, I want 3 meals that are going to fuel my body today. And let that be your rule. Let that be your rule of thumb. If you have a fun meal, like Cane's is what I'm craving right now, let that be your meal for the day. Let that be like once in a while, treat yourself. Like it's still a 3rd meal. You still ate, you still got some protein in there. Should not be your everyday meal. You should be prioritizing your nutrition and whole foods, but like think about it and simplify it. 80-20, my God. Number 5, I put making too big of a dinner on purpose the night before. So I have lunch for the next day. That's been huge because I'm not a meal prep girl. I also don't enjoy leftovers, not leftovers. I'm okay with leftovers for like a day. I'm not a big like meal prepper and like having food sit in the fridge and knowing what I'm going to eat for the next 4 days. Like that, I don't know, grosses me out. Don't know why. Making a bigger meal the night before. So that's my lunch for the next day. Then I'm not money management stressing. I don't have to worry about it. I'm good. My habit is that I'm taking a lunch to work. I'm saving my money. And I know that I'm going to be eating lunch because of that. 6 is leaving my Sundays for catching up. This one I've been a little lenient about recently with the dog and all of the things. But Sundays really truly should be for putting your feet up, catching up. We go to the grocery store. I fill up my car with gas. It's my like catch up day. And honestly, that habit in itself removes the excess stress from my week of things that I feel like I can't get done. You know what I mean? That like add on to your to-do list. You don't even know where to put them because they're like not that serious. All right, number 7, getting outside during the day. I saw so many write-ins, and I'm gonna put the list below of all the write-ins that I had of things that like I really want to implement, but like maybe now is not the right time for it. Getting outside though, like even if it means putting your feet in the grass for a few minutes, going on a walk if you can, maybe taking a meeting from on foot. I feel significantly less happy, if I'm being honest, and less serotonin in my body because I'm not going on my daily walks lately. My excuse is always going to be that I don't have time or that it's cold outside. But with the dog, with Deacon, it's going to be such a better balance too. And I need to hold myself accountable for me as well as for her, right? She's new. She's a puppy. She's not like walk able and ready yet. She will be in like probably a few weeks. But getting outside during the day is just so refreshing to like stimulate your brain in that way. They literally say that your brain is stimulated completely differently than looking at a screen, obviously. So you got to go outside and see all the different angles and the trees and the, you know, the buildings and like just take nature in. It sounds so yogi of me, but let it sound yogi because it's important. 8 is I love sleepy time tea before bed. Some people like magnesium before bed. I'm a sleep time tea girl. It's like what I look forward to being cozy in my bed and drinking my sleepy time tea. So that's just a habit that makes me happy. 7 is water in my electrolytes. It's just like a part of my morning routine now. It's always going in my freaking water. I know that when I get sodium, I'm going to be hydrated. Here's a little bit misnomer that I have heard from many doctors, and I'm going to have somebody on about this, but like 98% of the population in the world is dehydrated because you will dehydrate yourself by drinking just straight water. Not dehydrate yourself, but your body can't retain as much of the water. You actually need minerals in your water to retain the water as hydration. So electrolytes once a day in your water is significantly improved my hydration. Probably doesn't look like that right now because my lips are chapped AF. But it seriously is so important. 10, caffeine is no longer my like wake up priority. It's a nutritional breakfast. So instead of being like, oh my God, I need my coffee right now. I need caffeine. I want that caffeine. I'm fiending for it. It's actually like, I'm going to make my really, really tasty, delicious breakfast. And I get to have maybe a decaf latte. Maybe I'm going to do caffeine that day, but it's not my like saving grace in the morning anymore. It's the nutrients I'm going to put in my body. And I didn't add this one, but make nutrients like fun. Like for me, when I find myself cheating the most on my meals, and cheating is not the right word. I shouldn't even use the word cheating, but like having the hardest time keeping the most well-rounded nutrition habits in my meals, it's literally always when I'm bored of my food. Just bored. So you know what I do? I go to the grocery store, I pick something out new, or I cycle between like things that taste good. And right now it's Queen Street Bakery Bagel, which is so freaking phenomenal. I'm not joking to you right now. It's probably one of the best bagels I've had, and it's gluten-free and vegan. So it's actually like, not like thick. I don't really know how to describe it. It's not thick. But it is so freaking delicious. I was going to tell you where I looked it up because I was like, I'm going to shout these guys out. Okay. So they're in Canada. It's in Whole Foods in Florida, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Maine, and New Hampshire. In January, my Midwest people, it's going to be in, Whole Foods. That's for Midwestern, Southwestern states, Illinois, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana. We will have it in Whole Foods coming up. They're called Queen Street Bakery. I've had the cinnamon raisin bagel and it is fire. And then in Canada, you guys are in every major grocery store, it sounds like. But I keep them in the freezer. I pop them in the toaster. And they're like a superfood blend of like flour, chia seeds, flax, all the good things that you need in your diet. So they're fire. Then I've been pairing that with a little bit of cottage cheese, fruit. So I like berries, blueberries, and then I do honey. I do a little bit of cookie butter and then cinnamon. And it's amazing. And it's so funny. I used to literally I would be like, I can't have a tablespoon of cookie butter. What? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you freaking can. It is a well-rounded diet, my friend. Relax. Okay, where am I? 11, reading when I feel like I want to, and a book that makes me happy instead of it being like a rule, like I said a little bit earlier. Like it's not a rule. I'm not doing a test on the book. I'm just going to do it when it feels like the right time. If I'm too tired, I don't need to force myself to read 10 pages. Where did the 10 pages rule come from? It's good for you to read, but it's better for you to get good sleep and know when to do the healthy habits. I have 12 is a date night with my fiance because nurturing your relationships are top priority. Should be with right after you nurture yourself. It should be the first thing that's right there, nurturing your relationships. 14, I've been communicating how I feel, whether that be in work, whether it be in my relationship, my friendships, being real, and that's a good habit. 15, listening more than speaking. This one has been such an interesting one to learn how poor of a listener I was and how much I interrupted. And I've been doing such, I think, a healthy amount of listening versus speaking and waiting for my turn. And, you know, sometimes you'll have to cut people off and that'll happen. But it's really honestly eye-opening and humbling when you realize how much you're actively interrupting people. So this habit has helped me with my business relationships. It's helped me with a lot of things. So think about that one. Finally, 16, supplements. Okay, I take freaking supplements. And these seem like this hefty list. Pick a few, my friends. Pick a few that you feel like I need to apply that because it sounds like it's going to make me feel better. And first evaluate if I've got the time to apply this habit. Do I have the time to apply the habit? Maybe, maybe not. If I don't, well, I'll reconvene once I've actually got my X, Y, and Z nailed down. But supplements, I literally get like sick 1,000 times less than I used to. I'm not joking. And I thought I was somebody who didn't need a daily supplement. I thought daily vitamins were not necessary if you were getting a well-rounded diet with enough veggies, enough fruit, enough protein. Yeah, I was wrong. And since taking vitamins, I feel freaking amazing. So just food for thought. Here were the best ones that I definitely need to implement. And I'm going to just like rattle them off because I think they're all amazing. As you listen to this list, prioritize what you have going on your plate right now. Prioritize the main key habits that you really, really, really want to get right, like sleep, nutrition, working out, possibly nurturing relationships. Then, if one sounds like a positive addition, do it because it'll make you feel good. Do it because it's going to make you feel more well-rounded, and do it when you have the time and ability to do it. Okay, here we go. Making goals, blocking off an hour in your workday just for you. Cold plunging at Lifetime. Hey, Lifetime shout out. Doing things just for me. Calling my grandparents more often. That grounds me. Yeah, I miss that so much, you guys, of my grandma, but do it while you can. They're the most amazing, insightful people, and they really will remind you of what's important. 40-day alcohol break. I love that one. Blue Zone's documentary series on Netflix, and then making changes aligned with that. I still need to watch that. I started it, and it's supposed to be so freaking good. Also, I want to say like Limitless, or what? It's not a movie. It's not a show. It's a documentary series with Chris Hemsworth, the brother. I can't remember what it's called, but if you looked it up, it was really interesting hearing about those things. Letting go of little things, do not disturbing my phone, cutting toxic friends out. Yes, amen to that. I did that a few years ago. Lunch walks, journaling, something I never thought I would do. I love that one. Solo date night at home. These are the ones also, you guys, that I said, like, I need to do these. I need to do these. I have not implemented these. I don't think anyone has done all of them. That's not realistic. 1 water bottle before I go to work. I like that. You got to get hydrated in the morning. Bedtime routine, the same time every single night. That one would be tough for me, but I'm willing to do that as I work on my sleep schedule. An ice shower to relieve stress. I need to do this one. I think I want to do that. That's my like next one that I want to implement once I get my other stuff in a row. Getting that ice shower in. No phone after 8 p.m. Same bedtime and wake up time every week, every weekday. Making my bed in all caps was a big one. Replacing phone time with reading time. Calling my mom twice a week. Planning my calendar out ahead of time. This person said 6 months. I would say a realistic goal would be even a week. And then maybe you create it a month. And then and so on and so forth. You add on to it, right? Having my morning coffee be my me time. That's my mom's, and a lot of other people wrote that in. But my mom is so much more grounded in herself when she's got her coffee in because she had her me time in the morning. She had a solo time. Prioritizing my sex life. I think that's a great reminder. Stretching first thing in the morning. I don't know that I'd have time every day, but if I can, I'm going to do that one as well. And then natural light the first thing in the morning, and then a me day, one night every single week. Woo, lot of habits. I think the thing to remind yourself is not one person that wrote in their healthy habit can do all of the healthy habits. It's not possible. It's not even fathomable on the planet. Some may have resonated with you more and you were like, ooh, I'm going to do that one. I'm going to apply that one if I've got the time to do it. Some applied for me way more than others, but it's what I need right now. Habits are for what is right now. What do you need now? Not for later, right? If getting rid of caffeine is not an actual like habit or like healthy habit that you want to apply now for a reason, like caffeine gives me heart palpitations and I get jittery. I don't feel good when I go to work when I do that. But for you, if that's not your healthy habit that you need to work on right now, maybe let's like leave that one for a little bit and let's pick a different one so that we can just get into the groove of something that's going to make our lives a little bit easier, better or healthier. By far for me, the hardest one is not getting my head about sleep, nutrition, and working out. I mean, even like I haven't been sleeping as much because of the dog, obviously, but I just haven't been sleeping much in general because I feel like I need to get stuff done in order to be ready for the next day. But in reality, it's setting me back. So that's been really tough. And then I go into bed and I lay there and I close my eyes and I'm thinking about work and I can't fall asleep, right? Like, because I'm just stressed. I feel like my heart beating fast. With nutrition, it was the obsession of protein. And then I would basically be like, well, I can't have a protein-filled lunch. I didn't bring anything. I don't want to spend money. So then I wouldn't eat a lunch. And then I feel like shit. And then I'm eating lunch around 4. And then now I can't really eat dinner because I'm not hungry again. Like it messes up my day. I was obsessing over what I could get. So if you can get food in your system, do it, right? Like it might suck to have one day where you're like, shit, I didn't want to eat out. I don't have the money to do this right now. Definitely not every day, but do it one day. Get back on track, make a big meal that night, and now you've got the lunch for the next day. And then finally with working out, it's just like, take a breath. If you're struggling with the habit of working out, which I think, like I said, nutrition and working out is the common habit, like hundreds of people writing in that they feel guilty, they break that habit, and it is the hardest one to keep. You are not alone in that. Even as a fitness instructor in the fitness industry, I struggle with it too. It's human. It's because life gets busy, life gets slow. Life gets busy, life gets slow. We question ourselves. So just apply yourself when you are able. And if you can, lean into the 3 ones that I keep saying over and over again. Moving your body is more important than saying I've got to burn a certain amount of calories. That doesn't, first of all, that's just not how you should be measuring your workout in general, but that's up to you. I'm not going to say how you do or don't do your life. But moving your body is most important. So prioritize movement, however that looks, instead of what you assume as the best workout that you can have every day. I have shit workouts at least once a week. Literally like brutal. Like I was like, I leave the gym being like, I didn't even freaking sweat or I didn't like the workout and I left unmotivated. It will happen. But the goal that I had was to move my body and I did that. So the stress falls off and now I feel good again. I hope this resonates with you. I hope you can take something away from this episode. It's late and I don't have a ton of energy, so I'm going to go. I did add a little sneak peek, little fun you got in the beginning to the end of this episode if you want to stick around for it. Some advice write-ins. And I love helping you, especially with dating advice and life advice and health and careers. I promise if I haven't gotten to you yet, I will because I have a lot of amazing guests coming on. I'm going to just like spill the beans of a few episodes that are coming up because I think it's just like so much fun. I have toxic things in your home coming up, what nutrition we need to know about, talking about like things that you're putting in your body you don't know that's harming you, career advice, a nutritionist who is going and knows everything about supplements and diets, and she actually formulates the lifetime supplements. So it's going to be super interesting. How to build a fitness routine and keep your goals and actually see change. That's a huge one coming up. Love language and relationships, sex therapist and women's health expert, you name it, gut skin health connection. I'm going to find my way to it. So just know that everything I'm bringing to you, I hope that you learn something from it. I hope that it's not just me rambling when I'm alone, because I am alone today. and I'm going to go to bed. But you continue listening because I got some listener write-ins that are phenomenal and I cannot wait to give you my response. Okay, we are back, but I'm back because I did not press record. And so we were recording by ourselves talking to no one.
We were talking to each other.
Pissed. I'm so pissed. I'm like laughing through the anger, but that's just like the...
I can feel the steam coming
feel-
out of your ears.
you know, the noise. That's like
It's
cartoons.
like when your friend gets mad or your friend's mom and you like have to like smile and you're like,
You're like, okay, what do I do? Reilly is here because I have to reintroduce her. Rile's guy, I call her. We've been friends since like middle school. We figured out when I was a coconut head and we were laughing about that and being funny.
yeah.
But now it wasn't recorded. So now you don't know the story. But basically I did locks of love and I looked like a coconut.
I don't think it was only locks of love.
What do you mean? Okay, tell them. What did I look like then?
I think what happened is you got a bad haircut. Maybe you got some gum stuck in your hair or something.
Gum?
Susan was like, let's chop this girl
She
up.
would never.
Let's give her hair to the people that need hair. You come to school, you rocked it. And
Is that the word you'd use? I rocked it?
Well, clearly I chose to be your friend. So you were doing something with you're working
That's
it.
on you, dog. That's on you, dog.
I was like, that little mama's going to be my friend.
Wait, why were people my friend? If
don't-
I was like, I was probably like, hey, want to be my friend? Like, I was probably a gremlin, you guys, like, for real.
You would wear your little hockey t-shirt.
I
and you'd
would.
go to hockey practice. You didn't have to wear a helmet. Your helmet was your
You're
hair.
such a freak. You're so annoying. I remember I've never gone harder in broomball in my whole life than middle school broomball. I played hockey. I had to be good.
100%. I was not the gym class hero that like you and some of our other friends were. So I'd stand in the corner and be like,
You go.
As soon as it came to me, I'd sweat a little and then chuck it back at you.
I know.
Like,
Oh my God. And you want to know something crazy? Remember the presidential and like
oh, well, I
whatever
needed those.
awards?
National, you don't.
Get presidential
I
or
know.
don't get one at all. I at one point did 7 pull-ups. 7 pull-ups.
I had a
That's
high
freaking
push-up
weird.
day.
Oh my God.
I
Like
remember.
what were they feeding
I for
us?
sure had undiagnosed asthma at that age. And I was like, I gotta get the 8-minute mile. And you're like killing yourself. Kids are like puking on the side. They definitely don't do that anymore.
They definitely don't do that anymore. Or the like pace tester. Remember that? Where you had to like be in between the dots or the buttons.
Well, also like the sit and reach, which I danced so I could do. But then
Okay.
like some people's
Me.
legs were like 12 feet long and their arms were not. And so like
I
they're
had
already,
long legs.
you were so tall.
I had long legs. That's why I didn't get it one year. That's what I told everyone. I have really long legs, so like I didn't get it.
Yeah, when you like try to make up for
Yeah,
it.
and
I didn't
also-
get presidential because
You know what we got? A bumper sticker. Do you remember?
or the patches that you could like iron on to like.
to fucking wear. I'm like 12 years old. Where am I ironing this onto? My shirt? That's weird.
You
Like,
probably did.
knowing me, I probably did. No,
Your backpack.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, my backpack. Okay. We already did an advice for this one. So if we're going to do it again,
Yeah.
we're going to reread it and we're back and then we'll get into all the new stuff. So we're excited, but I'm going to reread this one because I think we need to give advice to this person. Should I marry him? I have dated this man for almost 5 years now. I, female 23 and him 24 male. We've had the talks about marriage, kids, buying a home, all the good stuff. We were on the same page with all of it. I, however, don't know if I ever want to get married or just not married to him. I do, however, see him as my life partner. Can you give some insight on the difference between the two? Am I not trusting my gut or am I just one of those people who doesn't understand the idea of marriage?
I think what we kind of came down to was like there's 2 separate feelings, like I never want to get married or like this isn't the person, and it's a tough decision between the two. But you kind of got to figure that out.
You have to separate them too.
Yeah.
Like you literally have to figure out like, am I feeling like, is there pressure to get married for any reason? I'm wondering
Is
that.
someone
We don't know.
further along than the other that's making you like have to think right now?
Maybe. But also 23, we were talking about a 23-year-old me. Reilly said, you know, like fun idea, like cute to be cutesy, to be like, oh, I'll get married to you.
But like, did I actually mean it at 23? No.
No freaking way.
And at 23, you were like on the train, like, I never want to get married train for a
and I was
moment.
pretty sure of it. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't want to get married.
Yeah.
Like I've been through enough. I don't see how, like I trusted people who then like broke it. So I was like, how am I supposed to trust someone forever? That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like how would anyone even do that?
Yeah. It's
So-
too early to like make that call, I feel like.
Too early to make the call. I would give it time. I would not obsess over it. I would, again, separate the two questions that you're asking of, do I really want to get married to this person? Or like, I don't even know, ever, or is it ever? You know what I mean?
Because if it's ever and you see him as a life partner, there's no reason to like give up on that.
Yeah. And if it's everything's good, why ruin it?
Yeah.
You can't see into the future. You can't go back into the past. So just live in the now and enjoy it. And I'm sure the answer will come along. Don't put pressure on it. You don't need to yet.
Yeah. But also communicate.
You got to talk.
Like if he's like die hard, get married, like big what, and you're like over here like, I don't even know. You got to
say something.
Give a heads up sooner than later, probably.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay. This one we read. It takes a turn. I was a little surprised with the turn. Remember I said that? I was it's going to take a turn. You're not going to expect it.
Like, but oh.
You're like, oh. All right, here we go. Am I in the wrong? My boyfriend, 21 male, and I, 20 female, have been dating for almost a year. To get a little personal, we both struggle with mental health issues, anxiety, and depression, and my boyfriend tends to shut down when he's upset or anxious about something. A few weeks ago, I went to a concert with one of my best friends, 21 female, to see an artist we both have liked since he started producing music 4 years ago. This artist to me is attractive, but obviously not at all realistic as a relationship would never happen. Seeing him is just like a fangirl moment. During his concert, this artist jumped into the crowd and squeezed his way past me and my friend. Obviously, I'm going to reach out and touch him because he's famous, and it's just like what seems natural in a situation like this when a musician jumps into the crowd. The next day, when I'm debriefing the concert with my boyfriend over the phone, he doesn't seem too thrilled that I reached out and touched the artist. We haven't spoken much in the last week because he was upset with me, which at first I didn't realize that he was obsessed with me. I thought he just shut down because he was anxious or depressed about something entirely unrelated. When I first told him that I did this, I had said, it's like if Bryson Tiller, a rapper, was in the crowd and you reached out and touched him. He disagreed and said, what if it was a female artist? And I told him I wouldn't care. Am I in the wrong for reaching out and touching this musician? It wasn't in a sexual way, just purely because he was right in front of me and famous and it was in the middle of a concert. Thanks, homie. Oh my goodness.
No,
you're not in the wrong. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of like laughable a little bit. Like you're like, huh?
Sounds sick. Like I'm kind of jealous. Like when you're reading the part of her like getting to touch like her favorite artist, like
Drake.
If I got to touch Drake, like even like a bicep,
we could put Reilly down to sleep forever.
Great.
She'd be good. She'd be like, okay, and now I'm ready to go. Thank you.
So like that's amazing. Like
that'd be sick.
Also, I thought maybe like you're gonna say like she got called up on stage. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you see like those Chris Brown like videos of like he's like grinding on it. Like maybe that. Like did she grab his dick or something?
Like don't get a little handsy. You know what I mean?
But like no.
It just seems so crazy. And what we had started saying before and then I realized that we weren't recording was he probably has something underlying that he's like saying is your problem. And like
there's for sure an insecurity that this triggered and it's nothing to do with the artist. It's his own thought that maybe even like is relating to someone else, maybe in your life or like another experience. And he doesn't want to like blame that person or bring that situation up. It's easier to blame it on the artist.
Yeah. And I wonder, has he ever been burned by somebody? Is he insecure? Is he feeling very insecure and like in himself?
Yeah.
Because I remember being younger and like making weird like assumptions based on even like someone you thought was attractive, you know, and then being worried that that person was more attractive than me and that would
comparing yourself, comparing looks, and you can't compare yourself to a celebrity. What does that even
like? What?
mean?
It's not even, doesn't make sense.
Well, and again, like she's not going to date him.
It's not reality anyway.
Yeah. There's not like a threat there. So
like, I don't know. I have a weird thing about like famous people. They're just there to like entertain, you know? So like, it's not even like, and then they go behind closed doors and they're just a normal person. You know, it's like, it's just like a part of, that's their job. We have different jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I just view it a little differently, but no, honey, I would, first of all, don't apologize. No. Don't say sorry because it's not your problem, but try to sympathize with them and just say,
don't
like,
make him feel crazy. Like, don't say sorry, but also like try to understand where he's coming from because maybe it could be a growing point in the relationship.
Yeah, and see where it's rooted from.
Yeah,
I want to understand like why it is that you're worried about a random artist. Like what?
Just a slide by.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but good luck with that though. But just make sure to communicate. That's my last thing I'll say about that. Yeah. This one says, "Love the podcast." Texting for advice. Me, 23 female, and my boyfriend, 26 male, have been together for 11 months. We've been talking about moving in together and have always talked about kids and marriage, like move pretty fast. Now we continue to talk about all of it, but I'm seeing a big divide in what we want. He wants country life. I want to be closer to the city. So I offer compromise in the middle, and he says he wants it his way. We talk about later on in life, and he wants me to be a stay-at-home mom, but I'm career driven. And if I worked, I would be the breadwinner based on our current career paths. Am I currently thinking too far in advance? Is this the time to get out? I just don't know if moving in together is the right decision, but we both live at home and can most likely afford only to move out if we move in together. I also want to live in an apartment for a year or two, but he wants to buy a house, which neither of us can currently afford. Thoughts?
I feel like no. It seems like they're too critical of like options that like it's like too much to the core of like who you guys are that like it would be hard for one of you to compromise and the other one not to.
I have kind of a theory about this too. Like it's implying all of that, but it's like, okay, 11 months. He's 26. He might be ready to like start like making bigger moves and you know what I mean? Like
settling down the house kind of. Yeah.
And COVID kind of sped up, I feel like everybody's maturity levels too. Like just generally speaking, I feel like if we talked about a 26-year-old male or 26-year-old female 3-4 years ago, it wouldn't be the same. You know what I mean? But it's COVID. I feel like you both are looking for and sure of what you want, but you're still butting heads on like these things that you don't even know are for sure.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, are you guys a right match? Kind of. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate to say I'm jumping to that, but it just seems like if you can't even like agree on like the type of person you guys each are and like find a middle ground and like find a balance.
Well, I was gonna say, I guess maybe you could attest to this more, but like I feel like I would 100% compromise on where I'd want to live for like if I knew that was the person. Like that wouldn't like I'm more of a city person, but like if I knew I was going to be with this person for a long period of time, I'd be like, oh, sure, live in the country.
And if that's what they want, I would respect that too. And you'd get that mutual respect if you guys were like in a good spot, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I feel like the stay at home breadwinner working thing, I think that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
I think that could go back to another insecurity. I feel like, I don't know, like if he wants to feel like the man and make more money and like take care of you. And like, that's not, like she said, I'm a career driven person, like that's like a core trait that like you're not gonna shake, like and that's gonna be you for forever.
And if it's gonna be a deal breaker that he wants a stay at home like mom, that it's like weird, but I mean in a way it's like, yes, this is after 11 months, if you're talking about moving in, you need to talk about these things. It's like realistic. He seems like he's pushing for a future that isn't quite happening yet. And maybe you're, you know, kind of coming into that too. And you guys are butting heads about something that's not even happening yet. Sounds like it might be a little rushed to move in with each other, in my opinion. I'd want to understand each other first more and see if we can find a common ground and respect each other a little bit more about what each other wants. I don't know.
I think there has to be a compromise and it has to be on both parties. And it seems like from the story that he's kind of dead set, and I don't think that's gonna fly.
No.
Fly, buddy.
Fly, buddy, fly. Spread your wings, but like be nice.
But just go to the city.
Like if anyone said to me like I want you to be a stay-at-home mom, I'd be like, well, I don't want to, so like what?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's it. That's all there is to it.
End of the story.
End of the story. Like period. That there's no like but. No, it's like but I don't want to. I'm not going to be. Cut that. Like and Jordan, if he said that, he'd be like, okay. Cool, that's what you want. Like it's not like he's gonna respect what you want too. I don't know.
He would compromise.
Exactly. So I think you need to learn a little bit more about each other and really like figure out what feels right. And
moving in's a big step. Like if once you're in an apartment together, a house together, it's like nasty to get out of that.
Don't do it. Don't push it when it's too early. And if you're even thinking about it, I would take another year and also maybe find a friend to live with in the city. Like make sure you're doing everything that you want to do. Otherwise you will resent him for quote unquote not letting you do it because he got in the way.
And you'll look back in like a couple of years and be like, I never got to live in the city. I never got to like get a fun apartment and do fun things. And even if you do that for like another year with a friend, or maybe you find something smaller, a studio for yourself, and you look back and you're like, okay, now I'm comfortable moving out to a less like urban area because I did that. Yeah,
but you wouldn't be, otherwise you're going to just resent and you're going to think backwards about, I should have done that. I should have done this. Yeah. Good luck to you, girl. Good luck to your relationship. I've got faith in it. Just, you got to communicate.
100%.
All right. This one says, I love the pod so much. Okay. I have a question. So I've been talking to this guy on and off for the past few months. The signals that he's giving me are very mixed. He will text me, but when I see him in public, we will talk for a very short amount of time. When it's the two of us, we talk for hours. So one night he texted me out of the blue asking what was up. He came to where I was at, and instead of talking to me all night, he talked to my teammate. They talked for hours, even after my friend told my teammate to cut it out. Then, when we were all walking home, she wanted to stop talking to him, but he would run after her, and they ended up hooking up. How should I handle this with him and my teammate? I don't think he's going to get another chance.
Bye, boy.
Bye.
As soon as you said he doesn't talk to you in public, bye.
That's a red fucking flag right in your face. Like, I'm not going to talk to you when we're in person, but I'm sure as hell going to text you when we're out at night. And like when we're alone, I'll talk to you a lot, but otherwise, no.
Yeah.
And then immediately when you've got the opportunity to hang out,
yes,
he's talking to somebody else and
in
then
front
goes
of your
for
face too. Yeah.
That just rubs me so bad the wrong way.
But also like so much deja vu. Like, are you getting deja vu reading this?
I kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
honestly,
like
yes.
100%.
Yes.
And I was going to say, like, obviously reading that now, like looking back, I'm like, red flag, bye. But 100% I get where you're coming from. Like talking to someone that much one-on-one, having such a good connection probably.
Yep.
And then like it's easy to write off stuff like, oh, you didn't talk to me in public because of the great 2-hour conversation last night.
Yeah.
But like, no.
Because of how you made me feel. But now you're making me feel like shit. I said, oh my God, a love triangle. Like, let me talk about it ASAP. But I said, are you still friends with your teammate? Like, did she know? And she said, here's some more detail about the story. This all happened this past Sunday. He immediately Ubered to where I was. The teammate was well aware that we had been talking, and she was told multiple times that night to stop talking to him, but she didn't, and clearly did more with him. To make matters worse, he apologized the day after, and my teammate just told me she didn't mean to upset me. We haven't talked since, and I'm wondering if I should take that as an apology.
I would like to say, like, you can't be mad at the girl because you're clearly not in a relationship with him.
Yeah.
But also, like, I don't know if she's, like, a true friend.
Yeah, because if you told someone, like, hey, I'm talking to someone, and then that teammate, like, immediately, or person or friend.
Well, I'm saying in our situation, if, like, you knew I was, like, talking to a boy, you would, like,
I would
steer
never.
clear of him.
And I would be like, even if he, like, let's say he was drinking a little bit and he starts, like, getting friendly, I'd be like,
you'd give him a slap on
the
the
fuck
face.
are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, no. And you put the foot down. I don't care if you're dating.
Yeah.
I know that you care about this person.
Yeah.
And I would never, you know what I mean?
Like, I don't think this girl is wrong, but also I wouldn't, like, put her in your inner circle, trust her with
no.
a lot of stuff.
And that's kind of like just because of this, like, a situation.
Yeah.
Separately speaking, this guy is bad news. This guy's just like doing whatever the hell he wants.
He's very classic, like, college boy, like, messing around,
Next
tasting
day.
everything.
Sorry about that. Oh, hey, all good. No worries. You hooked up with my friend. Hey, we're good here.
Wanna
Let's
come
keep
over?
talking. Let's keep talking. You want to have a 2-hour convo now? It's like, no, that's messed up. And I hate to, I know that we can only see clearly because we're not in it, but we've all been in a situation
Well, it's
like that.
we have been in it and we're, like, out of it now.
Yeah.
And we're older and we're looking back on it. But, like, if we were there then, we were doing the same stuff.
Yeah. And I probably
100%.
would have accidentally maybe forgave this person and gone
Accidentally
right back.
Kept talking
And accidentally kept being with them, and then they kept accidentally making the same mistake over again. And it's weird. It's like this cycle
we already
continues.
hooked up with my whole team and now.
Oh, I get you though. I feel you. I feel for you. Be smart about the friend, and also please, if you can, lose the guy.
Protect yourself at this point.
Yeah, your heart matters more.
Yeah.
All right, this one says, trying to embrace my single era. How do I embrace being single after being in a long-term relationship with someone? Hi, Sid. I'm a 24-year-old girl who just got out of a 3-year relationship at the beginning of 2023. We lived together, planned on getting engaged, the whole thing. But something felt off the last 6 months of our relationship, and I decided to end things. I moved out, which was super messy, but everything ended up working out okay. I've been on dating apps for about 10 months now, and I decided to recently delete them. I felt like if it wasn't serving me, I was looking for validation for something outside of myself. I'm trying to embrace my single era, but I'm finding it difficult to entertain myself if I'm not talking to a guy. What should I do to embrace this season of life? Also, so sorry this is long. I felt like I needed to include all the details. Thanks so much. Love the pod.
Yeah, it's tough out there.
This is especially from talking to friends who are dating right now, a hard season to be dating. And I don't exactly know why, but I feel like everybody kind of with COVID got a little bit more introverted, got a little bit more like almost like self-obsessive and like you're worried about yourself only. And I think people are expecting of more, but they're not putting their self out there more. And that I'm not saying for her, I'm saying for other people in the dating pool.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, and I feel like people are commitment phobic right now. It's either like people are 100% in.
Yes.
Or like wanting, like she's saying, wanting to talk, wanting to like get that attention, get some reassurance, getting some like contact, but then like not going any step further than that.
Yeah. And I don't know why that is. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's because we've been used to the dating apps and it's almost like because we've been used to like scrolling, getting something out of it, getting like a quick hit, almost like, you know, when you honestly, just as when you do like a quick shopping spree on Amazon, you get a dopamine hit.
You get a little high.
You get a little high.
Yeah.
You get a little like, ooh, that felt good. Like, so I think people are getting that from dating apps. And then when they get back into the real world, they're like, well, this is lame. Like, I'm not talking to anybody. I feel like a loner.
Or like you start talking to someone and it's consistent and it's good.
Yep.
But then you don't get that high anymore because it's one person for an extended period of time. And it's like, I want to know that someone else thinks I'm attractive or someone else likes me.
Just
to
be
like
sure.
reassure that I still got it.
Yeah, because you get worried.
Yeah.
You don't know. After especially being in a 3-year relationship and living with someone, I feel like you're so in the know of what you do and don't like that other people at your age probably have not figured out yet, or maybe like just haven't been to that stage yet. So I feel like what you're looking at, especially from my perspective, is like on the outside, you might see something in someone like that was kind of weird. I don't want someone that does that, but really you haven't looked a layer deeper because you're kind of keeping yourself at arm's length distance because you know what you want.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And the single era, I hate when people are like, you have to embrace, you have to go into, you don't have to do anything. And I feel like energy, at least for me, like the energy will like bring what it wants. So if like you're taking care of yourself, you're being single, meaning like going to do the things you like, the activities you like, working out, like getting like whatever your goals are for yourself, then I don't even get this stuff, but like somewhere in the universe, they know that like you're good. And then they'll bring like 10 guys will message you and they're all hot and amazing.
And you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. And you're like, oh, yeah. So I'm saying like be single, but like don't look.
I love that.
And I think that's the time that you'll have too many men that you don't even want any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to look away from like the dating pool in order to almost like find what you're looking for in a weird way.
It's almost like a jinx. Like you're jinxing yourself looking, like it's backwards. Like you're looking, so you're not going to find anything. And as soon as you stop looking, you're going to find something.
Yep. I was so hurt the last time I dated someone before Jordan that I said that I will not be dating anyone for a long time. Like I need to be single. I want to be single. Even though I was kind of lying to myself, I just like knew that's what I needed. You know what I mean? Like you're like, I need to be single. No, I didn't actually think that.
You're like, I don't want to be, but it's good for me.
It's good for me. Good. And dove into what I wanted to do, did a lot of workouts. Like
fit chick era.
Yeah, fit chick era, slay, a lot of bicep girls. And you know, people come out of the woodwork. So when people say embrace the single era, instead of thinking of hooking up with people and going out and drinking incessantly, I would say lean into yourself, get on that workout game, pick up habits that you have always wanted to pick up, like, and do like enjoy your you time and just start sitting in that because you're going to give out really, really amazing energy, which will eventually bring something amazing to you.
And I get her saying like it's nice to like be talking to someone.
Yeah.
Like that feels good. It feels
Of
good
course.
for anyone. But I feel like focus on friendships at this time. Cause I feel like after college or after like a different stage in your life, you like kind of lose people along the way. Like take this time to like reach back out, reconnect, make those friendships stronger that you might have like lost a little bit during the relationship. Cause it's hard to juggle relationship and friendships. Grow your friendships at this point. Like make those the people you're texting constantly.
And maybe like this is going to sound weird, but like if you have any friends that are out of town, go visit a friend.
100%.
Like, and just like go see a new city and like the people that are there and like, you know what I mean? Like open your eyes again to like, oh wait, the bubble that I live in is not the only bubble that I have access to.
100%.
I don't know. It was always a good reminder for me when I did that. So That's what we would say about the single girl era in air quotes.
Yeah.
I, female 20, and my boyfriend, male 25, are dating. He has a girl best friend. He disclosed this to me at the very beginning of my relationship, and I was okay with it until about a year ago. We've been dating for 2 years. My boyfriend hasn't seen his girl best friend since high school, so 5+ years. They often will text about relationship drama or just about life in general. Well, my boyfriend was telling her about our sex life and how we were struggling a little bit because of our different drives. She stated that if she doesn't please you or satisfy you, you should just break up with her. Red flag number 1. I saw this message in a text on his phone, by the way. I expressed my dislike for my boyfriend's girl best friend, to which he took it as jealousy. I want to make it very clear that I am very secure about mine and my boyfriend's relationship. I simply don't like this girl as a person because of the things she said. A few months later on, our sex lives were on track and a threesome was brought up. After giving it a lot of thought, we decided, why not? He told his girl best friend about it. She stated that if I was jealous of her then, how could I go through with a threesome, and that it would just be a really bad idea because of me. She said if he still wanted it though, he could just cheat, LOL. I'm kidding, she said. Red flag number 2. I have expressed many times I don't like her to my boyfriend, and he just gets upset saying he will talk to his best friend and get things straightened out. He has yet to do that. Also, a few days ago, she happened to be in town and stopped by for a visit. I was incredibly weirded out and awkward, and my boyfriend even thought so too. He still claims this girl is his best friend, and he would want her as his best man at our wedding. What should I do? I really just don't like them talking, especially about me.
Yeah.
That's a toughie. That is a toughie. Oh, I'm trying to collect my thoughts here.
I wouldn't like it either. It sounds very uncomfortable.
You want my honest opinion? It's extremely inappropriate. Like that to that extent of detail, like I'm stuttering because I'm just literally like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
You cannot be talking to this girl about your partner's sex life. Like that's just like such a line cross.
Yeah.
I can't even like fathom that happening.
Well, the fact that he felt a need as soon as they started dating to bring up this girl, there's a reason for that. He knew it was going to be an issue. He knew it was inappropriate. He knew it's probably been an issue in the past.
Yeah, of course it has.
And so he's like priming her to like be okay with it. And it's not okay.
I would wonder if they've ever hooked up. And if it was like a past love and like that, this was like something that you literally can't go or can't let go of.
Yeah.
Because that's what it sounds like to me.
100%. I think it's like a end game scenario.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I would not be surprised if those two end up together.
Yeah.
And they're like fooling themselves right now that they're only friends. But no.
It seems really wrong. And she's only 20 years old. He's 25. They've been together 2 years. So when she was 18, he was 23. So he was just out of college. I have a feeling that that this might not be the right time for him with like this situation. No. I don't exactly know how to like put this, but I would never put up with that behavior with another person, let alone a female friend.
Well, he should respect her feelings too. Like, I mean, I'm not saying this could be an unpopular opinion. I don't think a guy having a girl best friend is an issue in itself. I think that's fine, but there's definitely respectful ways to do it.
Yeah, of course.
And like considerations of your girlfriend, that should be like your number one girl.
Best friend means a lot of things. Like you could have really close guy friends and really close girlfriends. I have a guy best friend that I would consider one of my best friends, Ty. But he's not my bestie best friend that sits over Jordan. I don't tell Ty about things that are like really intense like that. You know what I mean? Like I just would never do that. And Ty knows that like Jordan's my number one priority. And
also,
I have girlfriends that are sitting right there too. It's like just like my group of my friends.
If your guy friend texted you like, why don't you just cheat on Jordan?
That is bad. If you have influential friends like that, and then he's like, it's weird that you're jealous of her. She's gonna stop by. Like,
no,
the maturity is not there.
Yeah,
he's not respecting your feelings about the situation. I think it would be time to.
If he's not ready to like put up a respectful barrier, and like have like understand, he should just understand what's okay and what's not okay.
Yeah.
And if he's not the maturity that's an understanding, it's not clear to him, then I think we need to take a time out.
We need to take a time out.
Yeah.
Like for real. Okay, let me see if I want to. I was debating, Riles, if I should read the one that would go into this episode
Go back
about
to-
indecisiveness or the move-in one.
The last one though, I thought you were gonna say she asked to be the threesome partner.
No, that's what I thought. I think I wanted to read it as she wanted to be the threesome partner, so I
probably
started
does.
reading it like that. Then I'm like, oh wait,
I was
that's
ready
not what
for
it
you
says.
to be like, and then she walked in the
And then
room.
they did a three. Like it's like, oh my god, that's so bad.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, moving in adjustment or just not the right fit. I, 21 female, and my boyfriend, 26 male, have been together for 2.5 years. We moved in together about 3 months ago. I quit my job, put things in storage, and gave up my apartment to join him on a work contract in Europe. Lately, we've been fighting what feels like all the time, but it's probably just more like 2 to 3 small fights per day. When I get annoyed, I am so quick to say something, but get over it right after. I feel like my boyfriend is also easily annoyed, but will be grumpy with me for a bit after, which I have been really hard on him with. An example of a recent fight was telling me he needs quiet time for a nap in the living room and to leave him alone when I've been out of the house for the past 2 hours. I asked him why he needed quiet time when I'd been gone for several hours and said if he wanted to take a nap, he should just go to the bedroom. This resulted in him saying that I don't give him space. Another recent fight was when we were home after a night of drinking. We were wrestling in bed and he accidentally pushed me so hard, knocking me off the bed. Again, a total accident. On the way down, I hit my head quite hard and started to cry. He did not check in to see if I was okay and said I was being dramatic, which only made me cry more. These are obviously really negative examples that paint things in a certain way, but I'm in little bit of a loss here. I know that I'm not innocent in it, but I feel like most of the time I get provoked into getting mad. This has also started to affect our sex life, obviously. I've heard that couples sometimes have move-in pains, and I'm starting to wonder if that's what it is or if we're truly just not compatible. I think you're both under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stress being in a different country and working there.
And I feel like once a couple things happen, sometimes it all just like piles on if like the first thing doesn't resolve. And then all of a sudden just like everything's annoying. Everything's annoying.
I think you guys need to have like a full sit down day of like half the day, maybe the beginning of the day is about what's bothering us in the root of like this pain and anger. Like I would almost like literally get a notebook out and have you guys spend like maybe 1 hour before you come together writing down what's been bothering you.
Yeah.
And I think you will find the root of the problem. I don't think it's unsalvageable. I think that couples go through this, especially when they move in, especially moving across the country. And you're probably feeling a little weird leaving your job and leaving your whole life behind. And you're kind of like, why is this guy not leaning into me and seeing what I've sacrificed for him?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm doing all of this for us. You know, it's like this like butting heads that you can't win.
I would say it's for sure. I don't think there's anything wrong with the relationship. I think this is normal, and it seems like they love each other a lot, and this is just weird. Like they're saying like moving in pains.
Yeah.
The only thing I have to relate it to is I lived with my little sister for 2 years.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
And I am her and he is my sister. Like
to a T.
To a T. Like we got to the point like Sydney is saying, like we would like she would like write down things that like bother, like,
Oh my God.
'cause
I
it got to the
remember
point,
this.
Like there's so many random things that pop up that would be annoying, or like little fights that like we'd both get over, or like one of us would get over, the other one would get over. And so like we got to the point where like Sundays we'll have like a moment to discuss like what we could do better this week. And it's like, it's literally just figuring, like he's a roommate. Like, yeah, he's your boyfriend, but he's your roommate. And
That's true.
there's always roommate drama. Like I know like growing up in college, like there's always like just like living differences. Like,
Yeah. He's probably overwhelmed too because he's
Yeah.
working, and I'm not like sympathizing with his behavior because it's immature, and he also like clearly has underlying things that are bothering him. But if he's he's working all day and then he comes home and he's probably overwhelmed as hell, and you're like, I just want to see you because I've been here alone in
100%.
this country all day, and now I want to like talk to you, and that can come off overwhelming, especially if he's overwhelmed for many different reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
I wouldn't overthink this. Like,
No,
he
don't.
wanted to bring you there. And you wanted to be together. Like,
I'd literally come home and I'd like want to hang out with my sister so bad. And
Yeah.
she'd just like, she'd literally text me. She's like, I can't see you today. It's just not a day. Like, she's just like,
not
I'm
a
not
good
going to
day.
be fun. I'm not going to like anything you do.
I'm going to be in
Like,
bad mood.
it's just like,
it's not a good idea for
so
us.
I think that's so normal, to be honest. Like that's communication. At least he's like,
Yeah.
I need a little bit of space.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that's annoying. I'm not gonna say that's not annoying. I'd be annoyed too. I want to hang out, but at least he like told you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. It's weird. I say, oh my God, because I'm thinking about when Reilly would tell me about this like living situation, and it's so accurate. It's parallel.
And there's no dislike. There's no hate. It's just like literally growing pains of like living with someone else that you care so much about and you will like always care about.
Yeah.
But it's just like different tendencies and like how you like do things.
I would say also you have to kind of look in the mirror and be like, have I been too hard on the relationship, and have I been like nitpicking a little bit, which you probably have if you're both overwhelmed, because I've been in the situation even then with like Jordan. I was nitpicking everything. And then I was like, if I didn't nitpick and he decided that he was going to be a little more respectful to me, let's say for how we were arguing, I think we'd be fine.
100%.
And then guess what? Shit just like disappears. Cause I'm like, yeah, I told them to like recycle that and it's still on the counter, but like, I'll just do it.
You got to pick your fights.
Yeah, exactly. Pick your battles.
Like, that's annoying and I'm choosing to let it go. So maybe like tomorrow I can like pick something else.
I know. I mean, yeah, one that's going to make more sense. Like,
100%.
Is it really that annoying that he didn't put the freaking cup in the sink? Not really.
Like, yes.
It's annoying, but it's like,
but I'll eat it. I'll eat it.
I'll eat it because I'll probably need to have a conversation. And then I usually will go to him and I'll be like, can I talk to you about something? And he'll say yes.
Yeah.
If it's not a good time, he'll say no.
Yeah.
And if he says yes, I say, I've asked you to put the cup away a handful of times, and then it became my problem. So I just like, I would appreciate if you were willing to meet me in the middle and like do those things. And he's like, oh yeah, you know what? That's really fair. Thank you.
Well,
then it's over.
Odds are you probably did something that annoyed him too.
No, I would never.
Oh, you're perfect.
I'm perfect over here.
You're over there thinking you're perfect, and he actually like ate like 5 things before that, and you're coming in with a cup.
I know. Then you realize that you're like, oh shit, I have stuff all over the floor
like,
or something.
This bitch.
Yeah, it's like the cup. You want me to put my cup away? What about the laundry that's on the floor that's been there for like a week? You know what I mean?
He's got like a tornado in the bathroom. She's like, can you put away your cup?
Please put your cup away in the kitchen. It's like, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
That would be my advice, Riles. That was so fun. Thank you for coming on and doing that. You guys, Well Said podcast across the platforms. Find me. You can always write in if you don't feel like texting or calling me. It's just in the link in the bios. It says need advice. All of these are write-ins, which is like, it's so fun to hear from you because my intent is to be like an older sister and bring in my friends who I trust as older siblings too, right? Like they're the older sister point of view. And I just think it's fun to get different perspectives. So appreciate you. Love you. Thanks, Riles, for being here.
Of course.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.